Good morning, children. How are you all today? Fine? Okay, very good. In this chapter, the end of bipolarity, we are going to discuss the concluding topic today. And the topics from beginning, what have been discussed by us so far: the toppling of the Berlin Wall by the people in 1989, the chain of events that led to the collapse of the Second World and the end of the Cold War, the way Germany, divided after the Second World War, was unified, and one after another, the 8 East European countries that were part of the Soviet bloc replaced their communist government. Why? Because the common people, the mass, wanted it. Thereafter, we discussed what was the Soviet system, Gorbachev and the disintegration in detail. We discussed the role played by Mikhail Gorbachev and Boris Yeltsin. Why did the Soviet Union disintegrate? This we had discussed too. The consequences of disintegration had been discussed by us, and thereafter it came the shock therapy. What exactly is shock therapy in post-communist regime? We discussed it in detail, and thereafter its consequences. Yes, children, consequences of shock therapy. And last class we discussed about tensions and conflicts. So, from all this topic, now the ultimate or the concluding topic we are going to discuss, that is India and the post-communist country. What kind of relationship India enjoys with the post-communist countries, Indo-Russian Friendship Treaty, and the vision of a multipolar world order. Fine. See, since beginning, our commitment, our intention towards the sovereignty, towards a friendly relation with other countries of the world had been commendable. So India maintained good relations with all the post-communist countries also. Okay, what are things that are in favor, and how has India maintained good relation? That India has strongest relations between India and Russia. Means India maintained the kind of unparalleled relation with Russia, and our relation with Russia are very important from the perspective of our foreign policy as well. There has been a history of trust and common interest between these two countries. It means Indo-Russian relations are based, are embedded in a history of trust and common interests, and certainly popular perceptions are there in both the nations. Means these are matched by the popular perception. How can we forget about the popularity of Bollywood in Russia? Okay, all the Hindi movies, Hindi film songs, means you can listen it the moment you, and sometime you will have to forget. You will think that I am in India, despite the fact you are in Russia. This is the kind of popularity of Indian movies, Indian stars, Indian actors there. Okay, be it our showman Raj Kapoor, be it the star of the millennium Amitabh Bachchan, they are highly popular in fact. Okay, and like anything, you can hear the songs, the Hindi film songs there in Russia. Fine. That's why we say that India is a part of popular memory in Russia. Fine. So, if we move from here, from this cultural aspect, both the nations share a vision of multipolar world order. Okay, sharing vision of a multipolar world order simply means that coexistence of several powers in the international system. We wanted that the world must not be unipolar. There must not be only one pole, one center of power in the world across the globe. That's why we share a vision, both India and Russia, of multipolar world order. Okay, both the nation, they believe and they have utmost faith in coexistence of several powers in the international system, not only one power. Simultaneously, we are committed, both the nations are committed towards collective security. Okay, in which, in this collective security, attack on one nation, attack on one country is regarded as a attack, as a threat to the other countries, and the collective response is required, so they will also respond collectively. They respect the regionalism, means the greater regionalism is being emphasized, and both the nation, they had been accepting it, they had been accepting that greater regionalism is very important as well. Okay, this greater regionalism is very important for the progress, for the betterment, for the peace and prosperity of the world. Okay, then they, both the nation, they preferred the negotiated settlement and negotiated settlement of international conflict. See, differences are there, conflicts are there, but they believed in dialogue delivery, they believed in communication, they never wanted the communication gap to take place, to happen. Okay, so they wanted to resolve every outstanding issues by sitting together round the corner, round the table. Okay, and both the nation, they always believed in having an independent foreign policy for all the countries. Okay, that foreign policy must be independent, and this is something that make both the nation a genuine friend, a true friend. Fine. Simultaneously, they also believe in decision making through bodies like United Nations. Means they are giving the due importance to the international bodies like the UN, and they believed that UN must be strengthened. Strengthening of UN in their concept is at most required. Fine. If you want to have a stable world order, for this strengthening of United Nations is at most required, and the UN needs to be restructured, reformed, and need to be made more democratized. Fine, more empowered. Clear? And more than, you'll be surprised that more than 80 bilateral agreements have been signed between India and Russia. Okay, we do have the Indo-Russian Strategic Agreement of 2001 as well. See, whenever the foreign relationship between two nations comes into existence, you will find the very genuine concern that both the nations are getting benefited by being with each other. So, how does India get benefited? India stands to benefit from its relationship with Russia on different issues. How can we forget the issues like Kashmir? Russia has been supporting India on every international platform. Whenever there has been any doubt, there has been any discussion, there has been any debate regarding the claim of any other country over Kashmir. Basically, one country, they used to get indulged into a propaganda, in fact. Okay, and entire world know how important Kashmir is, and Kashmir is the part and parcel of India, of Indian territory. Fine. So Russia has been supporting India. As far as energy supplies are concerned, in this field of energy supply, India gets benefited and Indian requirements are being fulfilled. As far as sharing information on international terrorism is concerned, Russia is always ready. Russia has been sharing with us, provides us the information on international terrorism. Okay, through Russia even, or with the help of the Russia, by being Russia with us, it becomes very easier for us to maintain very good relationship with other Central Asian republics as well. Means just like a access to Central Asian republics had been made more easy for us. Okay, and our relationship with Russia also helps us in balancing our relation with China as well. Okay, China always sees that fine Russia and India they are very close, so we must not take any step against India, despite the fact in the recent past we have been seeing, we have been observing, we have been seeing, we have been witnessing. But ultimately, the end result, what had been, we need to concentrate on that as well, children. Okay. Now, this was that how India gets benefited from Russia. Now, how does Russia get benefited or stand to benefit from having good relationship with India? See, India is the second largest arms market for Russia. Second largest arms market, and it matters a lot. Russia would never like to lose the arms market like India, and if it happened to be the second largest arms market. Okay, our military also gets the hardware from Russia, most of the hardware. So this is also the part of the Russian market. Means Russia finds India as a market. We are buying our hardware, our military buys the or gets the hardware from Russia as well. Okay, and another thing, in terms of the oil crisis, oil pool, whenever we need, Russia has helped, and Russia also gets benefited from it. Means it is a bilateral benefit or the mutual benefit for both the nation, undoubtedly. As we know that India is an oil importing nation, so Russia is very important for India. And whenever we need, Russia has come to the assistance our of our country during any oil crisis. Okay, and India further seeks to increase its energy imports from Russia, and not only from Russia, the other republics like republics of Kazakhstan, the Republic of Turkmenistan as well. Fine. So that our supply must not disrupt in fact, and we must get uninterrupted and continuous supply of energy imports, energy resources whenever we need it. Our cooperation with these republics, be it Russia or Turkmenistan or Kazakhstan, includes the partnership and investment in oil fields as well. Along with the partnership, investment in oil field simultaneously. Okay, and in another way also Russia is very important for India for India's nuclear energy plans, and Russia has been assisting our space industry as well. One very simple example of Russian help in our in our space industry, that is of the technology of cryogenic rocket. The technology of cryogenic rocket, in fact, children, when we needed it, India when our country needed. Okay, Russia has given. So, apart from it, also on various scientific projects, both the nation are together. And remember, the missile BrahMos, what do we have? The name itself suggests. Several authors had been there, children. Okay, again, if you are going back to the field of literature, okay, remember a very famous novel written by Maxim Gorky, Mother or Ma. Okay, Another very renowned author has written, Ganga se Volga tak. These things reveal that what kind of relationship both the nation used to enjoy. Okay, and we also can't forget, as we discussed, the popularity of Bollywood movie, actor and actresses there. Okay, in terms of military, apart from getting the technology, various agreements had been signed, even to produce the military equipment jointly, to have a joint venture. Okay, apart from getting the hardware, we do have the joint exercise of our armed forces. Okay, as far as economic issues are concerned, children, Soviet Union has assisted, has helped India's public sector companies, and that too such a high time, at a time when such assistance was very difficult to get. And Russia gave us aid and technical assistance for steel plants like Bhilai, for steel plants like Bokaro, for steel plants like Vizag, Vishakhapatnam, and machinery plants like Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. So, the Soviet Union, in fact, children, accepted Indian currency for trade. Soviet Union also accepted Indian currency for trade when India was short of foreign exchange. See, this is the kind of the unprecedented and unparalleled relationship and support by the side of Russia. Can you imagine that a nation will accept our currency, the currency of other country, because the country is having the shortage of the foreign exchange? So these all things simply reveal that the kind of relationship we had been enjoying and we had with Russia. Fine, children? Now, I was telling about the friendship treaty both the nation they are enjoying. Okay, both the nation are enjoying the friendship treaty, and one such friendship treaty they have also signed earlier. That was the year 1993. Remember that time we had the Russian President Boris Yeltsin and he visited India in the month of January itself. And on 29th January exactly, Indo-Russian Friendship Treaty has been signed. Their main provisions that both the nation would work for each other's sovereignty and integrity. Number one, both the countries agreed not to do anything determined to the interest of the detrimental to the interest of the other. Means what is against the interest of another nation, they won't take any step for that. Russia will always support India on the Kashmir issue, and simultaneously during the visit, military and technology cooperation agreement was also signed. Okay, military and technology cooperation agreement between both the countries. As per this, requirements of military equipment, what we discussed, of India's security forces were to be fulfilled. Okay, it means that the visit of the Russian president, particular year of 1993, also strengthened the friendly relations between both the countries. Fine, children? Any question? If you will have, then the test paper or the assignments, what have been given to you, must solve it, must submit it, and question you do have, if not today, next day you must ask. Fine. In case of any doubt, never hesitate. I have been emphasizing that you must not hesitate in asking the question. Okay, that may be regarding means the entire chapter, as we have discussed, be it the disintegration of Russia, be it the shock therapy, be it the consequences of shock therapy, be it the tensions and conflicts. See, differences of opinion used to be there everywhere, but what matters that how do we deal with these differences of opinion? Clear, children? Okay, so in case of any doubt, must ask. Okay, and even the new world order that emerged after the collapse of the Soviet Union, in which the previous regime of communism and socialism came to an end, and in their place we had of liberalism, liberal democracy, and capitalism. Fine. So, the relationship between both the nations. Because in our today's topic, India and the post-communist countries, we discussed what kind of relationship both the nation and India enjoyed with the other Central Asian republics. It was really unparalleled, and we are enjoying the relationship with Russia till date. Fine. Have a good day. Take care. Stay safe. Stay indoor and stay healthy. Thank you.